Hey guys, welcome to the Fight channel. As you hear, the promoter of former world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua believes that in a rematch against WBA, WBO and IBF title holder Alexander Usyk, his word needs to act more aggressively, but at some time keep his head cool. Joshua needs to be more aggressive, but it's not that easy. You know, they say that Joshua needs to pounce on him and start a fight. No, Usyk is a pound-for-pound fighter, and you need to use your strength with him. Joshua has an amazing base, wonderful boxing skills, excellent size, speed and power. I feel like he didn't use those virtues in the first fight, but this is a difficult task, the viewers will say. Just wear him down and finish him off. But there is a wow science behind it. I think Joshua made things too complicated in the first fight. He thought too much about this science, instead of being an old Anthony Joshua and trying to take out Usyk and times. However, to endure intellectually, not recklessly. So it will be a difficult fight, but Joshua is ready for this challenge. As you Hearn said in an interview. Tyron Spong, who in 2019 was supposed to be the first opponent of Alexander Usyk in heavyweight, but on the eve of their fight passed a positive doping test, shared his opinion about the upcoming rematch of the Ukrainian with Anthony Joshua. I believe that I have the necessary tools to defeat Usyk. Of course, I watched his fight with Joshua. Anthony is a terrific fighter, a big guy. In my humble opinion, he approached this fight incorrectly, but he has a rematch option. I was lucky enough to spar with AJ before his rematch with Andy Ruiz. I think Joshua will do his best. It seems to me that he will perform better in the rematch, Tyron Spong said. Recall that Usyk's first fight with Joshua took place in September last year and ended with Alexander's victory by unanimous decision. In that fight, the Ukrainian won the WBA, WBO and IBF heavyweight titles. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you really enjoy the content, then please subscribe to my channel and keep watching the videos. If you are subscribed, then you receive notifications about the release of new videos. You do not even have to look for anything personally. I really want to get 10,000 subscribers on my channel. I'm trying very hard absolutely every day and I need your support. Your likes, comments, reposts to social networks. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You are my support. Thank you so much. Dmitry Luchnikov, cutman of the IBF World Heavyweight Champion Briedis, believes that the Latvian boxer would have a good chance to take revenge from Alexander Usyk if they meet now in the heavyweight division. Usyk is on a good run, considering what he did with Joshua. I don't know who will beat him now. I don't know what Fury will do with him. No matter what anyone says, pinch into a corner, don't know. And if Usyk in the same as in the fight with Briedis, with Briedis he is wildly uncomfortable. Perhaps it will always be uncomfortable for him to box with Briedis. Do you know that every boxer has such an opponent? I think that Briedis will definitely have a chance, Dmitry Luchnikov said in an interview. Recall that in January 2018, Usyk defeated Briedis by majority decision in semi-finals of the World Boxing Super Series in the first heavyweight division. Ukrainian lightweight Denis Berinchik discussed the current situation in the heavyweight division and also speculated about why Anthony Joshua did not agree to large compensation payments to allow Alexander Usyk to hold a unification fight with Tyson Fury. As a boxer and as a spectator, I also want Usyk to have a rematch with Joshua and a fight with Tyson Fury, so that they would all fight there, and we would rejoice. However, we should not forget about the commercial size, about promoters and television, and they all dictated the conditions, because now pro boxing is making a lot of money. Sports are there too, and I want everything there to be faster for them. Why didn't Joshua take compensation, refusing a rematch with Usyk? So Joshua has plenty of money anyway. Also, if they had told Usyk, "You are on a payoff," he would say he doesn't need it, it's just a guy who wants to fight. Boxing is a man's sport, you need to prove your worth here. Here, the material's value is already fading into the background. Mirinchik said. Former absolute world champion in the first welterweight division Kostet Zhu said that he would very much like to see a fight between WBA, WBO, IBF heavyweight title holder Alexander Usyk and WBC world champion Tyson Fury. It will be very interesting with Fury. Two unorthodox boxers, so uncomfortable. Usyk is also uncomfortable, definitely left-handed. In general, it is not clear how Tyson fights, what he does, but he has efficiency in his work. He shows it. I want such fights, just a good fellow, Kostet said in an interview. Recall that until recently the teams of Usyk and Fury were negotiating a duel, but were unable to conclude a deal. As a result, now Usyk will have a rematch with Anthony Joshua, and Fury will have a mandatory defense with Whyte. The WBC World Heavyweight Champion Briton Tyson Fury outlined his version of why his duel with Ukrainian Alexander Usyk, who holds the WBA, WBO and IBF titles, didn't take place. According to Tyson, his compatriot Anthony Joshua was offered $15 million to refuse a rematch with Usyk, but it was not enough. Joshua wanted more money. $15 million was not enough. Therefore, it is obvious that there is no fight. As far as I know, everything was very close. We could already sign contracts. We did everything possible to make our fight with Usyk take place, but then a lot of shit fell out. All sides have made so many demands. Whyte wanted his piece of pie, and Joshua wanted his. The positive thing is that I will fight on April 23rd. Initially, I wanted to fight on March 26th. I'm at the top of the tree. I'll wait for others to decide what to do with my career. I set my time and my dates. When they take my place, then I can dictate the terms. I want to have 3 fights this year. To implement this, I have to stay busy. It's not my fault that they're not satisfied with my offer. Usyk could not be ready until the end of May. Dylan is a mandatory challenger, so he has no choice. He has to fight. We want to do it too, Fury said. After leaving Britain and interrupting his training camp, time to coincide with the future fight against the temporary British champion Whyte, the owner of the full-fledged WBC heavyweight title. His compatriot Tyson Fury arrived in Dubai to support the local hero of social networks, Rashid Belhaz, who is soon going to enter an exhibition 8-round duel against Floyd himself Mayweather. Fury gave a short interview to local sports radio where he spoke about the Ukrainian winner of 3 titles, Alexander Usyk, and former British champion Anthony Joshua. Will you fight against Anthony Joshua last? Do you believe that? I don't even know what to think about Anthony Joshua. Frankly speaking, no one cares about him anymore. But maybe I will knock him out to finally finish him off. Is Usyk cooler than Wilder? Usyk, like hell. Are you kidding? Wilder is the most powerful puncher in the history of our sport. And what will Usyk do? He will poke, dance around the ring and run away from me. Poke, poke, poke. He didn't do any damage to Joshua at all, and he definitely won't do any damage to a fighter like me. I will destroy it. He is a cruiser. He is a bloated middleweight. He was an amateur middleweight, 75 kilograms. I was a heavyweight when I was 11 years old. The WBC World Heavyweight Champion Tyson Fury predicts his easy victory over the mandatory challenger, compatriot and holder of the temporary title Whyte. Whose fight is tentatively scheduled for April 23rd in Wembley Stadium in London. This dude is a jerk. I just think he's a bitch. No, I know for sure that he's a bitch. Coward. And I don't have time for cowards, Fury said. I'm not bothered by any cause anymore. For me, it's just boxing matches from now on. Even the fights with Wilder didn't excite me. These days it's just boxing matches, and I don't have any special reason to do it. So now I'm doing this because I can. And it's easy. No more and no less, Fury said. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.